Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is currently 12:09. Just got done making my breakfast brunch. I made me some more of the eggs and then turkey bacon this time. Some avocado this time. It wasn't ready yesterday. And some toast with jelly and some grits. Forgot my cheese for the grits, but it's all right. And then I saw somewhere that said if you add cocoa to your coffee, it helps with memory. So I made one. I had been doing that before, but like I never knew that supposedly that's what that can help. I don't know, but this is as good as time as any for me to try it and see if it works. At least to pay attention to see if it works. Other than that, today, what do I need to do? Well, I got to go back into this book, into my journal, and mark off what I got done yesterday. I had a little new side effects last night. My I don't know if my nose was just stuffy or what, but my nose bled just a little bit. And there goes the whatchamacallit. Don't want to copyright. So I had a little nosebleed, but I think it was maybe just because of the heat too high in the house, maybe. So I'll just watch that. Other than that, everything's been okay, I think, for the most part. My like days back, my taste buds and stuff was like really messed up and all that. It's starting to subside now, I think. And then also like the feeling in my mouth was just like ugh. So that's starting to subside now, so that's good. But at the same time, it seems like all the side effects start to subside when I get closer to having another treatment. So yeah. So let's see, on this list I got done 3 things. So I have 3 things to go. So okay. And I should be able to do those 3 things. Well, I'll be able to do 2 of them today. So, well, we'll see if the other one can be done later on with assistance. The curtains. So, yeah. See, like I'm eating turkey bacon now, but my last session, it tasted so weird. Like, I don't know if it was the way it was being cooked or what, but it tasted so weird. But it's okay now. I really want some millionaire bacon. Have you guys ever tried that from First Watch? Oh, so good. With some waffles. So good. You guys are probably wondering what this scar is. I've been wanting to talk about it. Well, I take that back. It's a sore subject. However, the only reason why it's a sore subject is because there was a lot of bullying in my life. We'll just get into it because I wasn't gonna do this, but I guess this is how this vlog is gonna start off. So it was a lot of bullying I dealt with this scar. This scar is from what I've been told when it happened when I was like 1 or 2 years old. I was supposedly riding on a riding toy in the kitchen, and my oldest sister was supposed to be watching me, and she was cooking something, and she tripped over me with water. So I immediately, I think, was knocked out, unconscious. I'm sure I probably screamed as loud as anybody could ever scream. But being so little, so young, I supposedly was knocked unconscious from the shock and all that. Immediately to the hospital, and sustained 2nd and 3rd degree burns. It goes, as you have probably seen in videos, my neck right here, my ear, half of my neck in the back, and then down around this left shoulder, and on my back some. They had to take skin off of my right leg to skin graft my burns. This is a sore subject because of, like, I have sustained so many bullying and talks about my scars, to which most of my life I have depression, deal with depression. I remember, I still to this day get a lot of stares when people see it, a lot of whispers. This one lady even like reached out and just like touched it, and like, I jumped and, oh, I'm sorry. Don't do that. First of all, it's such a cross of boundaries, and it's like really disrespectful, like personal space. Come on now. I understand it might be something interesting you never seen before or whatever. Don't do that. Also, I've seen where people are curious. They may be asking, but they have this squinched up face. Like, it's just so disgusting. I know it looks bad. Again, nothing like you've seen before, maybe, but like, it's all about reactions. I remember being in middle school. It was a field trip, and I'm now understanding like frequency, and how when you have a wonderful spirit, it really does mess with people's demons. Because in middle school, we are 12, 13, 14-year-old kids. We were on this field trip. My oldest sister came with me on this field trip, and there were these class bullies, females. They were cousins. And for some reason, I guess because I'm the quiet one, or I was one of the quiet ones or whatever, and I was picked to be picked on. And this girl, I literally heard her maybe 2 seats back on the field trip bus. And she literally called me a burnt neck bitch. I did absolutely nothing to this girl. I was a quiet person. I never did anything to anybody. Never. But I was a quiet one, and people like to pick on quiet people. And that's what she did. She called me that. Just called me that. Just because she didn't like me. And there was no reason to. But she was one of those that do that thing or say that thing where I just don't like her. I hate when people say that because it's like you have to have a reason. Even if the reason is not substantial, even if the reason is dumb as fuck, even if the reason is because you're embarrassed that you just a shitty person and you don't want to say it. It's because you are messed up. Something's wrong with you and you don't want to say that, but I just don't like her. No, it's not just because you don't like her. It's because something in you. But yeah, I remember that. Just horrible. Like if I ever seen like every last one of the people who I have had contact with who has done some bullying stuff to me, like I remember everyone who has said something messed up, who has done something messed up. I remember everyone. Is that crazy? Like people can't remember, or they do, but a lot of people seem to not remember when you do great stuff for them. Some people do. People who are genuinely appreciative remember. But those that are unappreciative seem to not remember good stuff that you do for them, but they can remember when you said no to them. They can remember when you didn't do something for them. You know what I mean? But me, it's like I remember mostly all the things that people have said to me that have been out of pocket and wrong and have done to me. And I have came across those same people after a while, excuse me, and they will literally act like everything is cool. They want to see if I remember what they did to me. They want to see how I'm going to react to them and all this stuff. And a lot of times I am cordial, but I don't want to talk to you. We are not going to have a civil conversation. We're not. We need to talk about why you did what you did to me first before you think we're going to have a civil conversation or a conversation at all. Because we're not just going to skip past that. We're not. Especially when you know I didn't deserve it. I know I didn't deserve it. I hate that. I really do. I can't stand it. I'd rather you do your little cordial thing and say hi, but do not come and try to talk to me. Don't do that. And then act like, you know what I'm saying, we're going to talk about everything besides what you did to me. No. Nope. Because I am going to ask you why you did what you did. Either that or I'm just going to look at you very strangely while you go ahead and run your mouth and act like, you know what I'm saying? I remember in 3rd grade being in this classroom, and I don't know what was going on, but I don't even remember what the teacher was saying. But it was in between class, or it was in class. It was a whole lot of everything going on. And this one kid was literally put in this corner by himself because he had such behavioral problems. He had gotten a hold of some kind of pole, excuse me, some kind of long pole And it wasn't that heavy, but it was just the fact that, it was something. And he picked up this pole. Again, I was picked. And my mom used to do my hair in this weird way where it would be like these braids on the side. It would be a little ball on the top. And the braid she would round up like a snail almost and put a barrette in it. I hated the hairstyle. I really freaking did. But there was no way for me to like do the thing where we take our hair down while we at school and then try to put it back up. I couldn't do it. So I had to leave it. But the ball on top of my head. This kid had this pole and he reached the pole all the way to where I was sitting and said, bop, right on top of my head on the ball part. Mind you, on the ball part, my mom had the ball part sitting up there with hairpins. So for all I know, when you guys see all these scars in my head, one of these scars could be from that hairpin going inside of my head, but I never knew. There was no blood or anything, but I just remember it hurting so bad to where it made me cry. And I went to the teacher and told him, I'm like, hey, such and such just hit me in the head with this pole. And she just like patted my little ball on my head and was like, okay, it'll be all right. Like, it was so many times I have went to my teachers and told them about bullying and stuff, and nothing ever came from it. Nothing ever came from it. This is why till today there are a lot of problems with people going to tell people about bullying because nobody does anything about it. And then it's all of a sudden, it's so sad after that person takes their life or something. Do something at the moment. It's not right. Just because it's not you does not mean that you just go ahead and just let it go. Because you would not do it for your own kid. You would not want it to just be let go by your own kid if it was your own kid. There's so much of that going on. I remember in 6th grade, was it 6th grade or 5th grade? It might have been 5th grade. 5th grade, I believe. And there was like this week of like doing different things from different cultures. And so it was this girl who I thought was my friend. Her, and then there was another girl in the classroom. The other girl in the classroom was very like tomboyish and like, and I don't know what her deal was with me, but it was like, yeah, she had some kind of standoffish type shit with me too. I don't know why. But there was this little dance thing where it was like 2 bamboo poles and 2 people were on the end of the poles and 2 people were to jump and do this dance by rhythm in between these poles. And so, you have to concentrate on the rhythm that you're supposed to jump together, and then also the people who are tapping the poles the right way. If you had a mistake and you jumped wrong or at the wrong time, what would happen is you would either step on the pole or somehow the pole would vibrate to where the people on the ends would like feel it in their hands, and it hurt. It did. But it was not done on purpose. So I don't know what happened, but I don't know if somebody said something or if it was just like anxiety or me just like having to worry about not messing up because this girl was gonna be mad. But it's like if you trying to worry about that and worry about staying on rhythm, You know what I'm saying? How that work? How that would, how that would, you know what I'm saying? How that was going on in my head. So a couple of times I did. I messed up the rhythm and banged my hands or whatever. Banged her hands, I'm sorry. So that day she was pissed with me. And I don't know if her ass was supposed to walk the way she was supposed to be walking, but for some reason this day, she decided she was walking the way that I had to walk home, almost like intimidation, or I don't know what her deal was, what she thought she was going to do. So I'm just walking home. That girl that I thought was my friend, she was trying to make light of the situation or whatever and all this stuff or whatever. But, at the same time, it was like, you're not making anything better. Like, if she cool with you, why don't you tell her to chill? Tell her, since she don't want to hear from me, that I apologize. And you know what I'm saying? That's just that. This girl, I don't know, I remember for sure if she came up on my porch when I was going in the house or what it was, but like I just like went in the house and I was like, I don't remember if I told her don't come on my porch or leave me alone or whatever, but it was just really crazy. Like the things that I went through from adolescence all the way up to now, like I have stories for days. Um, I remember that same day. I was going in my house and that friend was like saying something and I just slammed the door in her face. And then I was like, cause I like, it was like, I was pissed, but I was like, at the same time, I'm like, I cannot believe, like, are you kidding me? And then I opened the door and I was like, I'm sorry, like that. But I was like, no, I don't feel like talking. So she had went home, but of course she walking down the street with her, you know? So ain't no telling what they talked about. Um, I remember being in gym class. The gym teacher used to call me Bones because I was so skinny. My metabolism was through the roof. Like I could not gain weight for the life of me. I ate so much. I tried so much to gain weight, could not gain weight. So I was called Bones by the gym teacher. And it didn't bother me. I guess it didn't. But it wasn't for anybody else to call me. You know what I mean? But everybody else would just, make sure. You're so skinny. You're so skinny. You're so skinny. Okay. Um, that gym teacher also called my sister the same. So all pretty much, um, my sister above me, um, I think my oldest brother went to the same school, and then I believe my brother under me went to this school, but that was it. But this gym teacher knew us, by our last name. He knew us. So my sister was also called that by him because, she was skinny for a while too. So it's like, whatever. But I've never been in sixth grade and me and this other girl had the same last name. As far as I know, we're not related, but we had the same last name. So he would call her by her last name, but then call me Bones. Okay. So there was a thing in the class where we had to go to different not all the way at the end of the playground, but far enough to where we could just throw a football back and forth to each other and we had to catch it. I don't know what any of this had to do with the athletic class or what was going on, why he, even wanted us to do this as women or as girls, but okay. So it came up to me and her having to throw the ball to each other. Again, we have people who like to jump on the bandwagon with everyone else. In this classroom were these same two girls, or this same girl. Okay. Remember when I told you about in middle school, the girl that called me the burnt neck bitch? Well, they were at this same what is it called it? Elementary school. They were at that elementary school too. I'm trying to think now. I'm going to have to correct myself. I'm so sorry because I'm all over the freaking place. That field trip was not from middle school, but we were being picked up on a bus, a coach bus at a middle school. So we were still in elementary school, but we were being picked up in front of a middle school. So, sorry. Okay, so we're back at elementary school on this playground. We're throwing the ball back and forth. The other girl is a lot more athletic, I believe, and she has a little more strength than I do. So when she throws the football, it's almost like perfect, like a dude, So I got to catch this ball coming towards me, spiraling. I'm looking at it coming towards me. I catch it good a couple of times, but sometimes it fell. I had to get it. The one time that I have to catch this ball coming towards me, it hits me either on the chin or I don't think it hit me on the head, but I'm pretty sure it hit me in the chin. And it dazes me. Like I am like staggering. And I don't know if I fell to the ground or what, but and everybody laughed in the class. I'm trying to catch my breath. And all I hear is the teacher, "Hey, Bones, you okay? You okay? You okay?" Never at all came over to me to see. He just had his clipboard and "You okay? All right, shake it off. You okay?" Another time, I remember, it was class. No, take that back. It was out for recess. I don't know why, but we're all lining up. And this guy decided he wanted to pick on me. I'm in line waiting for the teacher to come so we can go back into the school. And he just decides to come mess with me. He said something. And I just kind of just a little bit lost it. And I was just like going like this. I'm trying to hit him. But of course, he's like blocking my hands and all this stuff, whatever. And he's laughing, cracking up laughing. Everybody else cracking up laughing. I'm really trying to beat this boy up because I'm like so tired of him bothering me. Nobody said anything. Nothing. Go back into school. And it's just like whatever. There was a teacher that was very, 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 I feel like nice, nasty type thing. It was like she was more into like looking good and all that type of stuff. Yeah, she knew her stuff, but I feel like she came to school to show off clothes and I don't know, whatever. And one of her daughters, or her only daughter, of course, she made it so that that daughter was in her classroom. So that was her favorite in the classroom, and whoever her daughter picked to be on favorite with her, that's how that went in that classroom. Everybody else had to work their butt off to get what they, deserved or whatever. So I remember being in class and needing to use the bathroom so bad, needed to use the bathroom so bad. And she would not let me use the bathroom until I finished a worksheet of fractions. I didn't know how to do no damn fractions. And I felt like in that classroom, if you asked too many questions trying to understand something, all the kids looked at you like you were stupid. And it was funny that you didn't get it like they got it or how quick they got it. So you would be scared to ask a question because you would either get somebody going, or you don't get it. How come you don't get it? I don't understand how you don't get it. So I had to hold that urine until the bell rang to use the bathroom. Yep. Um, and it was like outside, some of the teachers sometimes would have to do like recess monitoring or whatever. That same teacher, I remember, had to monitor. It was for lunch recess. And I remember asking her if I can go in to use the bathroom. And she looked down at you. Why didn't you go before? Or something like that. It's like everybody doesn't have to go to the bathroom at the same time. And it's like, even if you were to go, you were being rushed or whatever. And it's like, it was so crazy. It was so crazy. Um, really, at this school, I remember out of all the teachers, all those years I went to that school, my best teachers were my kindergarten teacher and my fifth grade teacher. My fifth grade teacher was very, I wouldn't say really by the book, but she was very, very, yeah, she didn't play. She didn't. And I believe that's because she had two girls herself. And I think they were like around the same age as what she was teaching, if not one of them was. So I think that she kind of had more of a motherly, not I'm friends with my kids. I'm motherly. Because I remember it was like a game or something was going on at the school, a program or something. And her two girls came. And I remember them like mom, something, whatever. She's very, very good with her girls. But she always made sure like she was mom. She was not friends. And that's what the other teacher gave off, with her daughter and stuff, wanting to be her friend. And that's why she, I think, did the little favoritism stuff or whatever. And I came across them later on in life in another situation. It was not really a situation, but like they just came back. I don't know if I'll even talk about that, but yeah. And remember when I said people do that thing where they want to act or talk to you like, you know what I'm saying? Do you remember what I did type thing? That's what that teacher did. She didn't say too much, but it was like, I think she saw in my face, I feel like she knew who I was, but like waited for me to say, oh, remember you were my sixth grade teacher? And she was like, oh, like that. But it was like, okay, so yeah, exactly. Oh, so you still the same person. Anyways, I have not been drinking on this. It tastes like a cappuccino and it's warm, but not warm enough. I'm gonna have to warm it up again. But yeah. Let's see. What else do I remember about elementary school? Um, I'll remember just really just trying to be nice. Like I remember my mom always said, "Tell the teacher if somebody's bothers you." I really wish she would not have said that or like left it at that. I really wish she would have said, "Tell the teacher if somebody bothers you, and if they bother you again, you have my permission to dog walk their butt." That's what I wish my mom would have did, because the just tell the teacher thing, it didn't work. Until this day, like I am very hard on myself for letting people do me the way that they did me. Like I get it. She wanted me to have integrity. She wanted me to have good character. But you can still have good character but not let nobody do you like that. Hello. So sometimes you have to, I feel like some people need for you to help them understand not to bother them. Like you give them a warning, you don't take the warning, that's your fault. Yeah. So anyways, um boy, I remember in middle school, it was a girl. She was a new girl from another state, and she put on this I'm shy type of act in front of certain teachers, but out in the hallway and in other classrooms with her friends or whatever, she was just, ugh. And I guess I got sought out as being the quiet person. So she decided, okay, let me see how far I can push her or what I can do. So in the classroom, the teacher would ask her to bring him something. She would tell me, here, take this to him. Now, my mom said, you're not to be fighting. Tell the teacher. So I'm like, okay, do I tell her he just told you to do it and then see if this damn girl is going to now be a problem because she feels some type of way? Or do I just do it? So he told her to bring him something. Whole class is watching. First, she tells that one girl that I thought was my friend, because we ended up going to middle school together now. She lived like 4 blocks away from me. So we would meet either in this little field or down this one, like, end of the block type thing, and then walk to school together. And that ended up being some too, but I'll get to that. So the teacher asked her to bring up something, a paper or something. She told her first, because she was on the side of her. She sat in the middle, and then I sat on this other side. I'm just feeling, I'm knowing she is going to ask me next. I know she's going to ask me next. I know she is. So I'm laying there with my head down, trying to act like I'm asleep or something like that or whatever, because I'm like, please do not. I'm waiting though, because I feel it. She asked her, and she was able to say, he asked you to do it. So she kind of just like looked at her, but she didn't give her no attitude or nothing. It was just like, dang, you ain't gonna do it for me? So, of course, Colette, get us to him. So my dumb ass, I don't want to say dumb ass, but I got up to go give it to him. He said, give it back to her. Teacher told me, give it back to her. I didn't ask you to give it to me. I asked her to give it to me. So why, when I give it back to her and I sit down, this girl is looking at me like, how dare you give it back to me? You didn't give old girl the same attitude that you given me. So this pissed her off that I gave it back to her. So she had to get up and go give it to him. But of course, she looked at me and rolled her eyes. Are you kidding me? So you know what? I got bullied that day. That day in the hallway, I became all kinds of bitches. I think I got pushed. I think I got kind of like kicked, talked about. It was just crazy. It was crazy. If it wasn't her, it was, other girls. It was just the shit I dealt with, the shit that I've dealt with, the shit that I've dealt with. Oh my God. And then besides that, end up having having my first cycle, or starting my cycle. So those cramps were horrible. Then I had to worry about leaking. It was like a couple of times that I leaked, and I had to like try to see if a girl would be nice enough to help me get back to my locker without, my pants being exposed or whatever. That girl I thought was my friend, at one time at lunchtime, she thought it would be funny to joke about me saying that I had a stain on my pants. So then I go to my teacher to tell him I need to go home and change my clothes or whatever. And while I'm going to him to tell him, hey, I need to go change my clothes, she's like, no. But I don't hear her until after I done already told him, hey, I need to go change. And she's like, I was just kidding. Like, she did so much dirty shit that I was not able to recognize as a hater. It was crazy. And I did not realize it until like our last year. We went to this middle school for 2 years together. And it was in the eighth grade that I realized that she really was not my friend at all. Um, so seventh grade was fine, but then eighth grade came, and I don't know if she befriended another girl or what happened, but it was this other girl that ended up becoming into the equation of us walking to school together. So me and her would meet up, and then we would walk to this corner store, get snacks, and then go to school. Well, when we on our way to the school, there is this other elementary school that we have to pass first. Besides that school is this house. That's where that other girl lived. So we would wait for her to come out of that house, and then we would all walk across the street and then down to the middle school. The girls seemed okay at first, but then they had their little kikis or whatever that I didn't know about or whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. I ended up dating this guy at the middle school, and everything was cool with us, I guess, or whatever. Sometimes we would, me and him would just walk together home. He wouldn't walk me all the way home. He wouldn't be able to, but I guess he lived like he would walk through that other elementary school to his house, or he would walk me so far as to the end of the block where the corner store was, and then he would go the long way, because through the school playground would be like the short way to get to his house. But if he walked me down that street and it was like across the street from that corner store, then he would just like, we would just split off. I didn't know until I don't know when, but it was a while. First, this other girl, started acting really weird towards me, really weird. And then she would say things like, it would start to be like a money thing. Oh, my dad is so rich. He gets me this stuff and this stuff and this stuff. And then it would be like, oh, yeah. And then also, your dad is rich too. But she wasn't talking to me. She was talking to the other girl. Your dad is rich too. He gets you stuff. He gets you stuff too. And then it was like, yeah, Colette, you're okay. You get what you can. And it's like, what the hell? Like, what? Why does this even matter? Where is this coming from? What does it got to do with anything? So she would do stuff like that. And, it was always a money thing. Always come up with something. Like, it would always, like, she had to show off something new that she had got, whatever. Her dad wasn't in the picture, but, And then the same as the other girl, her dad, she lived with her mother and her sister. This girl lived with her aunt, I believe, and her cousins. I lived with my whole family, my mom, my dad, brothers and sisters. So maybe that's what the problem was. I don't know. But I'm just thinking, like, what else would be, why would you treat me like that or say something like, you know what I mean? Be like that towards me. For what? But whatever. So, yeah, I remember it was like um, the beginning of school year. We were all on the phone, three-way, and we were all talking about all the school shopping we did or whatever. And they were talking about how they got Jordans and they got, these frosted jeans and Guess jeans and all this type of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna ask my parents for that kind of stuff, because I know that it's a lot of us that my mom had to make sure was okay because of other issues that was going on. But I was like, and at the same time, like, what does that got to do with doing your schoolwork and I just didn't get it. It would have been nice, but it was just not something that I felt like it was a need. Like, if you get some good pants to cover your butt, like, you know what I mean? So again, I didn't know, and they were like, "So what kind of shoes did you get?" And I got some like off-brand shoes. I did, but they were cute to me. But I was like, "I got these and I got these." And they were like, "Oh, okay." Like that. And I'm just like, it, so um yeah, got to school, and of course, got laughed at or whatever. You got cheap shoes and all this type stuff and everything, talk about you and all this. I was like, I remember my birthday came around. School started early September. My birthday was at end of September. And because I got laughed at so bad, I wished for a pair of name brand shoes called British Knights. I think it was British Knights or LA Gear. And my oldest brother worked his butt off to get me those LA Gears. And then he got me some British Knights, I think, a little bit later. I'll never forget that. Um, excuse me. Trying not to cry. This is like so traumatic, but it's like things that people don't know. And the reason why you grow up and you have trust issues with people who like start off being so nice to you, but then it's like it could be one little joke that they like, you know, try to joke with you about. And it's like you can feel that it's a dig, but like they try to play it off as joking. And joking only goes so far. But like when you keep joking and everything is just a joke with a person, like you start to look like, okay, you're not joking. Like you really don't like me. You really don't like me. Um, so I remember that. And it's like, I remember my older brother telling me at one point, he was like, I was so mad when you were born because I wanted a brother so bad. He had two sisters above him, and then he had a sister under him, and then I was the next girl. So he was the only boy until after me. Then my mom had two more boys. But at that point, it was like he was like, damn, like I don't have anybody like my age, you know what I'm saying, to chill with or whatever. But my older brother, like, he'll go to war. He will for me. I think he will. I remember it was a summertime and I was outside. I had just learned how to ride a bike and I was like, let me try to ride. I had, a little regular banana seat bike. It had these little, it was blue. It had these little blue clouds on the seat. It was so cute. It had a basket. Me and my one sister she got a 10-speed and I got the little banana boat or the banana seat. And I remember they were in the basement. We had got them for Christmas. And my mom was like, okay, y'all go take these boxes down in the basement. We hated the basement. It was so scary. But I was like, okay, if we going together, cool. So we went downstairs and those bikes were down there. And I remember those boxes went flying. We were like, we got bikes. We were so happy. We could not wait until the weather broke to ride those bikes. We could not wait. But in the meantime, they had cleared the basement out so we could just ride around in the basement or whatever for a little while. It was so, so nice. But it was just the fact that we knew it took so much and it took so much saving in order to get us those bikes. So we appreciated stuff when we got it. And, that's just how it was. And that's what people didn't understand. It's like you had these kids out here and that's like, oh, I got this. No, I got this. No, I got this. Where's yours? It's like, you have no idea. So, whatever. Um, I know I keep saying that, but that's just my word. I'm trying, rather me say whatever than fuck or whatever. So, I remember I was outside and I was riding on a 10 speed. I decided to try to ride the 10 speed. So I was riding the 10 speed, but the 10 speed, you had to be able to grip those brakes to slow the 10 speed down. It wasn't like your bike where you can kick your feet, your pedals back, and the brakes were on the pedals. On the 10 speed, you had to press these little things, these levers. So I think I was able to press one, but I wasn't able to press the other one. So I kind of was wobbling with the 10 speed. And I don't know what happened, if it was something I don't know what happened, but I blacked out and I fell off the 10 speed. And when I woke up, I was either being carried in the house or I was being put on my mom's bed by my older brother. And I think they had said that I had a heat stroke or something. But I remember that about my brother. Remember him doing that. Boy. It's so much. It's so much. So much I have dealt with. So much. And it's like now, like when I say I don't want to deal with stuff anymore, when I say that I'm so tired of stuff, when I snap, it's like this has all been built up. All been built up in my life. When I don't have a lot of trust for people, this is why. When I hear people say, I've been bullied, so I understand, but then you watch those same people have bully behavior and bully people, it pisses me off, burns me up inside, because it's like, why did you even talk about you being bullied? And then how do you not understand or see that you're doing the same shit? I have heard 2 people say that, and they do that very thing. And I have it's so annoying. It's so annoying. So annoying. It's so much more that I could talk about, but I didn't want this to be this type of Vlogmas video. I really didn't. But I guess it was just on my spirit to just go ahead and just talk about. You know what? Since I went into middle school, okay, let's go into high school. High school, I think, took the cake for me. Maybe, but we'll talk about some in high school. So in high school, again, 9th grade, I was still having those heavy menstruals. And it always seemed like my menstrual always came when it was time to go back to school. The most annoying mess. And I remember this one time I had leaked, and this girl was coming towards me, and I was like, can you help me? Like, do you have a jacket or something? Because I leaked or whatever. And I don't think she wanted me to get it on her jacket, but she was like, well, just put yours on and then I'll see in the back if it, if it's able to be seen or whatever. And so she did that or whatever. She was like, hey, you can't, really see it or whatever. Just hurry up and go to the office or whatever and all that. So I remember going to the office and saying, hey, I need to go home because, my pants are messed up or whatever. And the lady took forever to excuse me to go. And I'm just like trying to do this while everybody is still in class because I don't want to bring attention to myself because kids are mean. I had so many haters. Like every school I went, somebody chose me to hate on. These girls, like it was always, I was like, my frequency must have been a magnet for mean ass bitches because it was like all the time. All the time. When you're quiet, you have a magnet. Your quiet is a magnet for mean bitches. It's crazy. And so I was able to go home. I remember it seemed like it was this one guy I dated in ninth grade, and everything was fine. Everything was fine, but he was an athlete, so he had that type of following. But he seemed to be pretty okay with. I mean, he what's the word? And I'm trying to think, was he in the 8th grade at that school? I can't remember. But he seemed to have what's the word? He claimed me in ninth grade. So that was nice. I don't know. There's nothing really bad that I could say about him. Everything was cool. But I was more on I want to, you know, just date and get to know each other and all that, where he, I think, was more with the wanted to be physical, but I was like, no. But he did not push me to do that. So I like that. But then you had like all these other girls or whatever that did not like that we were together and would, say stuff to where I would hear it and make me feel some type of way, make me feel like, he was doing something by saying stuff. But, he would always reassure me, like, no, that's not happening. But at the same time, sometimes it was like he, thought it was funny that they was always saying stuff, but it's like, it's not funny to me. I don't like that. But he always, did make sure, he reassured me that everything was okay or whatever. What broke us up was kind of mean was how, I don't know if this girl, it was another girl who was my friend, and I don't know if they were mad that they weren't in a good relationship. And so they decided they would use me having little insecurities about, not feeling all the way secure. So they would say, well, if you don't feel secure, then maybe you should talk to somebody else or you shouldn't be with that person. And it was not that deep. But when you not mentally grown, you know what I'm saying? You think your friends know right. So she was talking to someone or liked someone who didn't even go to school. He was a total dropout, and but he would always be like at her house, and I guess he knew somebody who knew um her mother or whatever, and it was just a whole lot of craziness. And so they had a friend, and she thought it would be nice for me to meet this guy. This guy was nowhere near anything I should have been nowhere near or whatever. Ridiculous. Like, it was ridiculous. And the only reason it ended up coming out that she knew that it was not right for me and him to be together is because she decided when we were all sitting around her in her room one day, she says, she pulls out her diary with this look and says, I wonder if my friend such and such, me, knew that such and such is not a good pick for her. And like she's reading it as if I'm I'm sitting there and she's reading it as she's looking at me when I feel like she should have just said it. Like, why are you reading it? And it was like, and I wonder, and she, hey girl, she may or may not remember this, but yeah, that hurt. It really did. It hurt for a while, but I never said anything. But now I am. But still. And I'm just like, And I always thought, like, wow. So you broke it up because you were jealous, or what was it? Like, why would you do that? What was that about, even? To this day, I'll never know. But it's like, Um, then there was this other guy. This was in my sophomore year. It was his freshman year. Started dating this guy. And this was when roles reversed to where I was more mentally stern and mentally grown, but he wasn't. And so he just liked the attention. Loved the attention that he was getting from all the girls, because of his looks and all that. So I was like, at the point where it was like, okay, I'm your upperclassman. So I kind of felt like, if you are here, starting out freshman, you want to go ahead and just scope around and see who's who and all that type stuff or whatever, go ahead and do that. I already got a year in, and it was just like, whatever. I could just be in my books, minding my business, don't, whatever. And he just seemed like he really just did like, all the attention he was getting and all the fun and all that stuff. So I was just like, you know what? Whatever. Like, I picked you. When I pick you, I pick you. If you're not ready, it's on you. But don't think that you just gonna be flopping back and forth until you're ready. That's not what I'm doing. Even being what, 15, 16 years old, like I was already on some growing stuff. At 14, I had my first job and I was helping my mom the best I could with paying bills and taking care of me and my two brothers under me. So I was already on some adult stuff at 14. Um, so, um, yeah, so that's how that went with that one. We'll come back to that one, maybe. But yeah. So, junior year, this guy, and even with that guy, there was this one girl, very manly like, but she was a girl, and she was just very outspoken and just a lot for nothing. And it seemed like any guy who I had interest in high school, she somehow ended up having interest in the same guy. And it was almost like she wanted to always do have a duo with me over these guys. And I'm like, I refuse to fight over a guy. I'm not doing it. If you want them, take them. Like, it's not that big deal. It's not. It's not. But like, why every guy that I talk to, you talk to or want to talk to? For what? For what? Anyways, so the guy in it was like that with the guy in freshman year. It was like that with the guy sophomore year. Junior year comes, same shit. This guy came from, I don't even remember. He seemed so cool and stuff, so nice or whatever. We had gym class together. In gym class, you could pick, what you wanted to do. You could play basketball or play volleyball or walk around the track. And so me and him would walk around this track and just talk, joke around, all that type stuff. But we would walk around this track. And so when class was over, said bye or whatever, I'll talk to you later on the phone, maybe that night or whatever. And it came one time where he had invited me to his house or whatever to meet his father. And he was like, I said, well, I don't know how I would get over to your house because, like, I wasn't driving at that time or whatever. He was like, oh, my father could come and pick you up. And I was like, that is weird as hell. Like, I have never heard of that shit. And then I'm like, okay, me being in the car, like, I see you at school and you cool and stuff, but like, I just don't think it would be right for me to be in a car with two males that I barely know. Like, it was just something about it. I was like, no, I'd rather if I come, I would like to have somebody with me or be able to, have my own way to get back. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere. I don't want to, have to trust. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else to do, like, no. And so I guess he took that as me not being serious about him or whatever the hell. So it was like, okay, well, so then it became, I was friend zone or whatever. Again, that's fine. Whatever. Because, like, again, I'm into school. I'm trying to graduate out of school. That's what my mind is on. So he took that as that and decided to start talking to that girl. I guess she was able to, she was all right with them picking her up and all that type of stuff or whatever and all that. So what she did was, I guess he either told her about me or she sorry, she found out through whatever that me and him talked or whatever, or that we interacted in gym or whatever. Somebody must have told her, and she decided that the class me and her had, what she would do would be all loud talking to another girl about how one day I had called him and she was in the background And I asked him what she was doing at his house because I'm like confused. And I don't think that he even like said that he was dating her. I think he was just like, oh, we just, chilling, or we're just, um, I don't, I do remember that he did not say that they was dating, but he said she was just over there. They was just chilling. I said, okay. Got off the phone with him because I'm like, ain't nobody just chilling. Like, I'm not stupid. So she goes in class the next day talking about how they all dressed in the same color and they was dressed to kill and they went out to eat and all this type of stuff or whatever. And then she was like, and then he get a phone call and it's her, and she had the nerve to ask him what I was doing over there. What you mean, what am I doing over there? I'm over there with my man and blah 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 blah. She just going off and being all loud and stuff, whatever, and all this stuff, trying to make me feel some type of way. And I'm sitting there and I'm just waiting my turn, or whatever. She just running her mouth and all this shit. And I finally just said, I didn't know that y'all were dating. I said, but it's cool. I said, it's no big deal whatsoever. I didn't know y'all was dating. That's what I said. And she just like kind of just like shut up. And then it became, I don't know why she getting loud. Bitch, you been loud the whole damn time we been up in the classroom trying to make something out of something. You been loud. You wanted me to hear you. You wanted everybody to hear you. And everybody did. But what you're not finna do is make me feel like I'm the side chick. Because I wasn't. If I was, okay. But that wasn't my intention to be. It really wasn't. What's the crazy part is this dude ended up doing her the same damn way. And you guess what? She came back to class again. And then I guess she wanted to maybe see if I knew that now you looking just as damn dumb. So then she's talking to either that same girl or another girl. And then it becomes, girl, why I call him, or she had went somewhere and saw him or something. But she was like, this mug is with this other chick and blah 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there listening, but I'm like in my, acting like I'm like doing my work and stuff or whatever. Inside I'm cracking up laughing because I'm like, bitch, you did all that to me, and he turned around and did you the same damn way. How that feel? Anyways, so then the other guy from before comes back and tries to talk to me. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not finna do this with you. Like, I'll entertain you and whatever, but like, I'm not serious at all because now you have showed me that you're not a serious person when it comes to relationships. So, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Everything was jokey joke. Let's just do jokey jokes. So if you want to be nice, oh, walk me to my class, walk me to my locker type thing or whatever and all that type stuff, thinking you all cute and everything, whatever. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm at the point, I'm in my mindset, I'm like, you know what, whatever. You think that you playing me, but it's like, no. I'll be nice. I'll be cordial. But like, I'm not taking you serious at all. And so, he would, do little things like that or whatever. And I'm just like, whatever. Because I'm still hearing these girls, oh, such and such this and such that and all this stuff. And I can't help but believe they doing it because they know that I can hear. It was in another classroom where his butt literally walked this girl. Me and him were supposed to be talking, and he walked another girl to the class that I was in. We had eye contact and everything, and I'm looking at him like, really? So you couldn't walk me to class, but you walked another girl. Okay. All right. But we supposed to be serious, right? No. Mm-mm. And then this girl's, seated 2 seats behind me talking about how she called him and left a message on his phone and on his voicemail and a song and stuff. That's their song and all this or whatever. And there was this song, like, literally haunted me my whole life. After high school, this song haunted me because I remember that being said in that classroom, how that was their song. And I'm just like, wow. And I told him about it, told him about the conversation she had behind me. And he always thought it was funny. He thought it was so funny. He thought it was funny that it irritated me. For the longest time, he thought it was funny. Like, I recently got over that. It still bothers me a little bit when I hear it, and it's only because of the fact that he thought it was funny that it bothered me. There's a lot of unaccountability that's wrapped around with it. Because there are things that always was said pertaining to him. And instead of reassuring me that nothing was wrong and making sure that I was not put into situations where girls could disrespect me, it was more of, oh, don't worry about it. It's really easy to say that when you're not the one in the situation. But whatever. I did not want this vlog to be like this. Again, I didn't, but again, it was in my spirit to talk about. So, yeah, this is going to be a long one, a very long vlog. I don't know if you guys are going to like it, but I hope you do. I'm going to close it off right now and come back later. Or come back. I'm finna go and put these doggone, I'm finna go put these stockings up. That's what I'm finna go do. And I wonder if I should take you guys with me to do it. Put you guys on my tripod. Let me go see. Hold on. Hey, y'all. So it is approximately 8:20. Just got in a little bit ago from running a couple more errands to get ready for Christmas. And I am currently making Swedish meatballs, noodles, corn on the cob, and broccoli. I had some frozen bags in the freezer, and I was telling my husband about how I saw something about the forever, what is that, forever, whatever that's supposed to be, that they are talking about, they put in on the broccoli and the potatoes. So hopefully they did that after this batch that I have had in my freezer. I mean, but at this point, with what I'm going through already, I mean, does it really matter? I don't know. I am in charge of games for Christmas night. So that's what I'm getting together, questions and prizes and stuff like that. So yeah, but other than that, that is all for tonight. I'm waiting for my husband to get out the shower so that I can get in, and then we can eat. And that's that. I'm gonna show you guys my plate when it gets done, and then that is gonna be it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoy or get something out of this vlog. I know it was a lot and emotional, but like I said, it was on my spirit. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Thank you for my subscribers who have shown their shown themselves public subscribers. Thank you so much. I'm not sure, but are 23 of you really like bots and like watching me? Because why don't you want anyone to know, you know what I'm saying, who you are or whatever? What's that about? 23 or 24 of you? What's that about? But okay. All right, I'll see you guys when I come back. All right, y'all, this is my plate. Noodles, gravy, meatballs, corn on the cob, broccoli, and some rolls. Okay? And with that being said, I'm going to close this out. Thank you so much for being a subby. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope they help. I hope you got something out of this video. As humans, we need to do a lot better with the way we treat people, being that we don't want to be treated, you know, horribly ourselves. These are my truths. These are my truths. And I mean truth as in the word truth. Like not just me saying it, this is how I perceived it. No, this is my truth. As I said, I have stories for days. So thank you so much again for watching, and like, share, and subscribe. Positive comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.